our guest what she'd like to choose, and her first choice was this film. And even better, we were able to clear the rights to it, and we've just been planning a revival tour with themed dress and music and maybe even a sing-along element. So we'll keep you posted on that. But please can I introduce you to Alice Lowe. You were here last year, weren't you?
Yeah, so in Sightseers, and I absolutely love this cinema. I think it's jealous. I wish I could sort of pick it up and transplant it to Camberwell, just around the corner. It would be really convenient. I think it's absolutely brilliant place. So I was really pleased to be invited to come back.
And the parallels between Sightseers and Grey Gardens are immediately obvious, maybe. You were a bit worried that people were going to be expecting a comedy, so you want to explain yourself?
Well, I don't know how many people have actually seen Sightseers, but without giving it away too much, at the beginning, my character lives with a very overbearing mother, and definitely one of the inspirations for that was Grey Gardens, essentially. I mean, some of you will have seen Grey Gardens before, I imagine. It is a film which very much bears reviewing, and you will get more stuff from watching it again and again, as have I. But I use documentaries quite a lot for my inspiration, because I really determined myself a character, comedienne, which is sort of somewhat... almost like people are ashamed of that title these days. It's like most people want to be stand-up, and you know, I'm kind of for my sin when my character comedian, which means I use a lot of documentaries as inspiration, because for me personally, I like realism. I like stuff to be real if I can get it, and documentary is an invaluable source for that. But for me also, when real life is funny, it is funnier than any comedy that you could ever create. I mean, shouldn't really say that. I'm leaving myself out of the job. But for me, it's not just a comedy as well. I would say, like, when we were writing Sightseers, we wanted it not just to be a comedy, but to be elements of drama and tragedy and horror and pathos and a love story and a road trip, etc. And so for me, Grey Gardens is a complete emotional roller coaster. I mean, don't get your hopes up, because nothing fucking happens. It's like a Tennessee Williams play. It's like a Tennessee Williams play meets Beckett meets the best double act you've ever seen in your life, kind of meets Star Ted. You know, these two women are incredible characters. You know, you dream of being able to create a comic dynamic like that. But there's also a lot of beauty to it. I think, you know, they knew what they were doing. The Maysles brothers, they knew how to make a documentary that it never feels exploitative. It's truly fly on the wall. So they really did let them get on with it, and they filmed them. So there were moments of real pathos and beauty. You know, you really are watching something that feels very human and very life-affirming. Weirdly, you don't feel like you're mocking them, you know, or they were mocking them when they made the film.
That was the reaction when it was released by some people, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah,
people felt that it was voyeuristic and
exploitative.
Yeah,
maybe they didn't have things like Help I Smell a Fish and maybe She's Free to compare that. We've dipped a lot lower in cultural terms, I think.
But it should be said that the Evies were extremely proud of this film and felt that it had captured their essence.
And I also think it's worth noting that the women are both performers. They're both born performers. So there's a frustrated dancer, singer, actress, comedienne within Little Evie, and Big Evie was a singer. So there's all those elements that they're actually loving it. For me, there's a few documentaries like that, like Anvil. I don't know how many people have seen that, about a rock band and American movies, where you're watching the pathos of someone failing at what they're doing, which is such a human experience. We've all done it. That actually, in a weird way, they achieve their apotheosis through the documentary. They achieve their their greatness through the documentary that's been made about them. I think that's true with Big and Little Easy as well, that you feel like, well, this is a true commemorative thing. It's really, you know, it's a souvenir of two people who you would never otherwise have known that they existed. I think it's interesting as well, because when you read about the synopsis of what the film's about, it seems quite dry. You sort of go, oh, it's relative to Jackie O, what's that got to do with me, am I going to be interested? But to me, you know, the characters are so human, you'll recognise parts of yourself in these people, and they're children as well. Characters have got this real childlike kind of beautiful characters that you just love them, you know, like even if in the first 10 minutes you're going, oh no, oh my god, what are they doing? You know, within sort of 15 minutes you're hooked and you're just fascinated by them. And then there's a sense of admiration for them as well, because they are sort of very stubbornly eccentric. You get the feeling that they don't really give a shit that they are weird. They've kind of chosen this lifestyle. And there is tragedy to that, but there's also sort of sense of fulfillment that they're not living by anyone else's rules, really.
There's a bit when Little Easy is attempting to sort of half reciting Robert Frost's poem and talking about the road less travelled, and it's obviously a kind of manifesto in a way. And there's a question as to why she never settled down and married the rich husband. And Big Easy's constant. We shouldn't just describe the whole lyric. You are going to watch it in a minute, but yeah, how much of a choice that was, and it just seems like you just can't imagine Little Easy ever settling down and being peaceful, adoring wife.
Yeah, it's very interesting sort of politics of the time, how these society bells and living, so they were very much sort of probably commodified in the sense of what their value was and their attractiveness, but at the same time you get the feeling there's this real creative spirit within them that, you know, is actually very innate to both of them, and that, yeah, they're true bohemians, I suppose, in quite a brilliant way. Also, I have to comment, because I sort of half-dressed as Little Easy today, unconsciously. This was my coat, and so I said, oh, you're wearing a fur coat, and I went, oh my god, oh no. Yeah, the clothes are brilliant. I don't want to give away any of the lines, but Little Easy is a sort of a proper fashion muse for a lot of top designers. Have sort of said that she inspired them, because yeah, there's something really, really amazing about just the aesthetics of the whole film. You know, it's shot on film and it just looks beautiful, and their world, it's their Miss Havisham, you know what I mean? They're this lasting world, and you just, you know, keep an eye out for all the bizarre little things that are just happening around them, and yet they're still dressing up in this kind of, you know, designer gear that they've had for 30 years before the title scene. So there's just a lot of layers of sort of beauty to it, really.
We haven't got loads of time, and Alice is going to Scarpa for a train just in case he gets trapped in Birmingham.
I'd love to stay longer, but I'm literally terrified that we won't get home if we don't.
But we have got a little bit of time. If anyone's got questions for Alice about anything else, sightseeing or other stuff, I don't know how many you've seen sightseeing. There's some hands at the back. I was going to say, I was just kind of curious as to what you're going to do next, really, because I know sightseeing started as a TV pilot and kind of expanded into this.
Yeah, I'm making another film, writing another film, which I'm directing as well. So it's quite daunting, but it's once you know. That's the same thing for my film. And play. Remote away. Yeah, so I'm writing a film, and you know, to me, I was God, your mum is so persistent. Oh, is it? I had this premonition that my mum was going to phone me, like during the intro for the screening, and I thought that would be quite funny, but she hasn't. You know, my mum sort of reminds me of the mother-daughter relationship.
There's some awful positives going on with that too.
Yeah, I mean, I think mother-daughter relationships are underexploited on television because I think they're some of the most psychologically fascinating and peculiar things that exist. Like, I remember the time that my mum looked at me really fondly when I was about 15 and thought, oh, she's thinking how beautiful I am, you know. She looked at me really fondly and went, you've got piggy eyes, just like me. And there's some beautiful moments like that in the film that you'll see. It's like weird, you know, I think it's something about you create a person and therefore you're allowed to criticise them and crush them if you see fit, you know. And there's a lot of that going on. It's very brilliant. I can't remember what the original question was. Oh yeah, what I'm doing next. So yeah, I'm doing a radio series for Radio 4, which is my own thing called Alice Lowe on the sketch show. Second series of that. But yeah, more film hopefully, which is an exciting world to be part of until I decide that it's really brutal and I hate it. But at the moment, it seems like it's really exciting. Yeah, hopefully not years this time. Yeah. Hopefully, you know, maybe a couple rather than several.
I should say that Alice has local connections, you know, her family is originally from Black Country.
Yeah, I mean, my dad's from Walpole and I call it Coventry, so, you know, Birmingham would be the place that you would come to buy Doc Martens and then a special treat. You know, maybe once a month, and then Leamington Spa, more places to get drunk, and buy trousers, for it in nice shoes, in a shop called Mystique. Yeah, my mum does live in Kenilworth, so, you know, castle. That's mainly what's there.
But you picked Redditch for sightseeing?
Yeah, I mean, that's more because of Steve. I mean, one of the reasons to start writing sightseeing is because both of us have got Midland parents and upbringing, and that's more where his family are from than Redditch. But we also went and we did a whole recce of the Midlands before, you know, as we were writing, when we were driving around, and we just sort of found the mum's house, basically. We were looking for a special location, and it's like, this is it, and it was a house in Redditch. I think it said Graceland over it. There was like no garden, and then there was a sign that said Graceland. And we thought, this is exactly the sort of, you know, there's a sort of element of Grey Gardens and sightseeing where the mother has just put loads of stuff, you know, and it's kind of, you see the dust collecting on it, and it's all, her whole identity is encapsulated in the decor of her house. And that's got real tragedy to it, you know, the idea that, you know, everything's precious to her, she's built it as a little cocoon around her. And I think that's the true, you know, the Grey Gardens that, you know, that the tragedy is collapsing around us. So, yeah, it's definitely special.
Well, you're in for a treat. Thank you for coming. Please thank Alice Lowe for choosing such great things. If you don't really fancy going back out in the snow, we do have good vibrations at 9 o'clock